Okay, guys. Today I'm doing my top 10 worst movies of this year. Ugh, gosh, I really didn't want to do this. I got the list right here. Before we start the list, I'm gonna do my dishonorable mentions, movies that were horrible, but did not make my list because there are 10 more movies that were more bad than these. Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones, As Above, So Below, Devil's Due, Annabelle, Ouija, Jezebel, Before I Go to Sleep, The Quiet Ones, I, Frankenstein, Sabotage, Locke, Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return, VHS Viral, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Tammy. Okay, so I shall start now. So at number 10, we have Brick Mansions. Brick Mansions is a horrible movie. I feel really bad for Paul Walker. Rest in peace. But it basically, for Paul Walker's last movie, it was really sad. It was just sad to see this as his last movie. This movie is horrible. Do not see this movie. Like, think about it this way. Taking a nuke out of the city. That isn't entertaining. It's stupid. Okay, number 9 is a horror movie. I dislike pretty much almost every horror movie that came out this year. I think Oculus and The Babadook were the only two that I enjoyed. But yeah, 9 is Deliver Us from Evil. This was like an investigative cop type of thing. I actually give this a D minus and I gave Brick Mansions an F. But don't worry about the letter thing. Same with my last one. If the letter grade is just the submission or whatever, how much you like the movie. It doesn't count for as a ranking thing. So Deliver Us from Evil was a horrible horror movie. It was not scary. Eric Bana tried his best. That's all I could really say about that movie. That was really good. It was a horrible movie. I was bored out of my mind. Don't see it. Put it that way. So number 8 would be Step Up All In. Who saw this movie? Who saw Step Up All In? I did. And it sucks. Ugh. Step Up All In. It really sucks. Do not see it. The dance routines are okay, but I mean, that's all I can really say. The character, they do that to character development, and that they try with all these type of movies. And it really doesn't work. Just stop doing it. Stop making these movies. 5! And last year we had Battle of the Year, which I absolutely hated. I don't ever think I even rated that on Letterboxd, but I hated that movie. So another dance movie that I hated. So number 7 would be the new found footage movie, one of them, and that would be Into the Storm. Into the Storm sucks. It is so freaking boring. I was bored out of my mind. Man, I just sat there the whole time, just like, ugh. Come on. That's how I sat the whole time. Such a boring movie. It's incredibly stupid as well. Number 6 is Disney Channel's newest DCOM, or one of the newest DCOMs actually. I don't think it's the newest one. But Zapped. I actually didn't mind How to Build a Better Boy or Cloud9. They were okay. Actually, How to Build a Better Boy was mediocre. Cloud9 was decent. But Zapped is just... it's not good. It's not good. The acting is horrible. The characters are even worse. The story is awful. Do not see the freaking movie. It is a wasted. It's a wasted like 2 hours of your time. Okay, number 5 is the movie that was supposed to be a woman empowerment movie, but ended up being a movie that made women look horrible, and that was The Other Woman. The Other Woman is just a horrible movie. It is not funny at all. It is a women empowerment movie. It's not a women empowerment movie, trust me. It does not make women look good. It makes women look bad. Very bad. yeah. So if you're a girl and you still haven't seen this movie and you want to, don't. If you think it's gonna be a women empowerment movie, do not watch it. You'll be incredibly disappointed. It's not funny at all. Yeah, stupid. So number 4 would be the only animated movie on my list, which would be The Nut Job. I hated The Nut Job. It is such a horrible animated movie. It's so boring, cliche. The animation is awful. The voice cast is okay, but I mean, they did a decent job. I mean, the voice cast doesn't really add anything. The characters are still awful. And it's such a boring animated movie. It was so cliche and boring and predictable. Do not see the frickin' Nut Job. If you do, I will find you. I won't do anything to you. I'll just tell you that you made a huge mistake. So number 3 would be The Legend of Hercules. The Legend of Hercules. It sucks. It sucks. It is a horrible movie. The effects are awful. There is a scene in this movie. If you if you subscribe to Jerry Johns, you would notice. I didn't notice this because I didn't see the movie until like a week after he did. And no, actually, I think I saw the movie in June. Did I see it at the beginning of the year? I don't remember, but I was looking for this scene. The guy tucks the spear under his arm. It's the best, one of the best comedies of the year, maybe in the top 3. It's quite hilarious, but unintentionally. Number 2. Okay, there's the final 2. This is where it gets big. Number 2 is probably one of the most laughable movies I've ever watched, and that would be Left Behind. And if you're thinking Left Behind is not my number 1, you got a problem. But Left Behind is so funny. Unintentionally, obviously. The religious message is like just shoved down your throat. They just want, like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And they're like basically stuff it down your throat. Not literally, but I mean. But why? Why'd they do it? Why? Nicolas Cage doesn't even have a freak out to save the movie. I like Nicolas Cage, so. But Nicolas Cage isn't even good, you got a problem. So, Left Behind is number 2. It is a god-awful movie, one of the worst I've ever seen. Pardon my saying God's Name Event. I think that's God's Name Event. Who cares? So number 1, the worst movie of the year, and probably in my top 5 worst movies ever, maybe top 3. That would be the slowest movie I've ever watched, which would be Transcendence. It's so slow. Ugh. Hate you list. Ugh. Transcendence sucks. I don't even want to talk about it. It moves at a snail's pace. Acting is horrible. So boring. Fully 5 sorry. That's my top 10 worst movies of the year. This list is gone. So, peace. Oh, sorry. That was a rude ending. My review for Woman in Black 2 should be up on Friday or Saturday. So, yeah, peace.